Next on deck with Tim Black.
Well, it's not Donald Trump. Do I think she's a perfect candidate? No, but it's not Donald Trump. Because at one point, some of your viewers were like, I think he's pushing Kamala. At one point, you were excited.
Okay, so I can tell you that I was never excited about Kamala. I think there's a difference between saying I openly struggle and wrestle with the decision. I'm saying that. I'm not denying that. But I always said she was a bad candidate. I always said that this was a tough choice.
Folks, this is why we're in the bottom right now. You know that was a feckless candidate, a pointless candidate, a horrible candidate who has done nothing to earn our vote. She was chosen to be VP. She was not elected. She didn't even win a primary. They didn't even bother stealing the primary. They just didn't even run one. And then they installed her. And I saw that Sabby Sabs had a panel of people on it. And on that panel, she had Mark Lamont Hill. And they were talking about, I don't know, it looks like she asked a tough question like, so why did you support Kamala, Mark? But that's not how Sabby talks. Sabby's nice. Well, but Mark, come on, Mark. You did.
The outcome was better. If the net outcome was better to use. No, I wasn't.
Get him, Savvy. Get him, Savvy.
Man, when was this?
Mark, remember we had this conversation. Remember when you said, well.
He was doing what Marcus said, harm reduction.
Remember you were saying voting wasn't.
Hold on, there's harm reduction being excited about it.
No. Mark, when it was first announced that Kamala was going to be the nominee, and you seemed to be, obviously happy it wasn't Joe Biden anymore, but I remember you saying that voting isn't going to stop the genocide. And I remember, Mark, come on.
I say I'm listening.
When Kamala was announced as the candidate instead of Joe Biden, you were
what did I say?
You were saying, well, what? Go watch your show. I watched your show and you were like, well, it's not Joe Biden. And you were saying that, well, it's not Donald Trump. Do I think she's a perfect candidate? No, but it's not Donald Trump. Because at one point, some of your viewers were like, I think he's pushing Kamala. At one point, you were excited.
Okay, so I can tell you that I was never excited about Kamala. I think there's a difference between saying I openly struggle and wrestle with the decision. I'm saying that. I'm not denying that. But I always said she was a bad candidate. I always said that this was a tough choice, but that if the ultimate outcome was better, if the net outcome was better, I don't use the language harm reduction, but I think that's close enough to what I was saying, that would be the choice.
Man, I gotta say, man, I know why they don't like me now. Yeah, I know why I'm not liked, man, because I just don't have the patience. Yo, man, I don't care if you got 10 degrees, man. All the word salad in the world, man. All the explaining. Look, guys, he went on this long, winding thing about he didn't support Kamala, but he did support her, but he didn't support her, and he ended up voting green, but he was really had trepidation because he didn't want Trump to get back in because Kamala wasn't good. So, but Kamala was bad. But, I don't hold it against anybody that did vote for her or didn't vote for her, a person that wanted to do harm reduction. I got nothing against you on that. And a person that didn't vote for her, I got nothing against you. If you couldn't stomach it because of Gaza, I get it. And folks, this is why we're in the bottom right now. You know that was a feckless candidate, a pointless candidate, a horrible candidate who has done nothing to earn our vote. She was chosen to be VP. She was not elected. She didn't even win a primary. They didn't even bother stealing the primary. They just didn't even run one. And then they installed her. Professor Hill is a renowned speaker, author, writer, personality, anchor. He's been on major news. He was at CNN. He was at the Black News Network. He was at the Griot. He's been on MSNBC. I remember when he was on Black Topics or something. MSNBC had a black thing, Black Voices or something. And the man does not have the guts. And it ain't just him. Eddie Glide, same thing. All these very smart people, none of them could say the Democrats. We need leaders. Leaders say, you know what? We need to do something different. And it may not help me financially to tell you this. It's going to make things harder for me because I ain't going to be able to get the jobs I used to get. I may find myself unable to teach in whatever school I teach. I might not have had a tenure that I had before. He already lost one tenureship. I get it. Heavy is the crown, Mr. Hill. Heavy is the crown, Dr. Hill. So much is given, much is expected. You're supposed to say, not you, a person who's a leader. Now, if you're the leader, just say you're not, get out the way. If you ain't a leader, get out the way. Don't want to be a leader, I get it. There are people that don't want to be leaders. They stand up, ooh, are you a leader? No, nah, dog, I'm good. Nah, that's leaders get hurt. That's, what you doing then? What you doing? I'm serious, what you doing? It's tough out here, man. Oh, man, God, man, you want me to do it? I supposed to say that? I supposed to go in and everybody gonna turn their guns on me if you want me to, I don't know if I could. Shit, it's getting hot in here. Somebody crack a window? God, it's already cracked? Jesus, could you open the freezer? You got a freezer door you can open the refrigerator, the freezer door. Shit, can I get butt naked here? Wow, it's hot in here. Jesus, anybody else hot? You not? You chilly. Oh, shit. Just suddenly got hot in here. So you want me to, oh, Lord, what you want me to do? You want me to stand up? Yes! Want you to stand up. We ain't gonna get nowhere as a people if we're not courageous enough to walk away from the Democratic Party. We have their backs against the wall right now. Their backs are against this is a gift. We've been given a gift to Luigi Mangione. And right now, the entire world is watching our healthcare system. We have an opportunity. The Democrats' backs are against the wall. They are knocked down. They are wounded. The alien has 5 legs and it's only walking around on 2.5 of them. Right now's the time to get the alien down. Wrestle it to the ground. Right now. This is our shot. And what are we doing? We got feckless people out here talking about, well, I'm not. Look, I got nothing against you if you vote for Kamala or you don't vote for Kamala. I got. That ain't how the Democrats play. Democrats don't play that way. You don't mess with me, I don't mess with you. This is why I don't mess with you. You soft. Got all them words and shit. Little pregnant. Democrats don't play that way. You don't vote Democrat, fuck you then. I saw Joe Biden tell a white man to his face at a town hall. White man said, hey, I think you're old, Joe. Why are you even running? You seem too old. You seem old, Joe. He said, I'm not old. You want to step outside? I'll show you how old I am. I give you the right there, Fred. We go outside and talk about it, fat. That was Joe Biden, 77 years old. He don't play nice. Democrats don't play nice. We do, though. Oh, if you don't want to vote for Democrats, you ain't got to. I mean, you can. I ain't gonna hold it against you, And if you want to, just walk outside with your pants down and pass the school kids, that's fine too. And if they want to have gender assignment surgeries to toddlers, that's cool too. And if they say you should be able to protect yourself, even if you live in a community where everybody on the block got guns, you should have one because we got school shootings that occur. So I mean, you can and you can, but I'm saying we should be nice. And everybody should use the proper Shut up. Everything is flimsy. Everything about them is too much. They don't stand on anything. I'm holding it against you if you keep voting for Democrats. This is the place you come to when you realize the Democrats are not the ticket, that ain't going to save us. That ain't going to get us nowhere but more of what we got. In fact, it's going to get us less. Joe Biden just brought in 10 million, 20 million new Negroes. They call them migrants. We don't got time to play games. We already 50% of the homeless family population. What you waiting for? For it to be 75? Then you're going to wake up, or you waiting for it to be you. Then you're going to get serious. Well, I ain't got to wait for it to be me, for me to act, for me to stand up, for me to speak. We got one of the worst situations that's ever presented itself. We had Joe Biden, a man who ain't been running the country. He ain't been running the country. He been in office for 4 years. He was deteriorating as vice president. He was cognitively declined. His staff was hiding it when he worked for Obama as the VP. Y'all talking about who stole elections. A person that was unfit to be president got elected in 2020. You talk about somebody stole elections, somebody trying to steal something? Russian did what? Now, just like I learned when I was a security officer, when I was in high school at the mall, you had to take loss prevention. We find out like 90% of the loss prevention is actually employees. That's where your loss prevention come from. And that's what we learned. So that's the same way it is with our elections. 90% of our election hoodwinking comes from domestic, not Russians or China or TikTok. Okay. You can tell when I've been watching irony because I do this hand thing. This is irony all day. This is irony. Shout out to Irony Mostly Friend Pump. Irony, that's my guy. Go subscribe to the Funky Academic. I like shouting out my people. I want people to know I ain't petty. And I'm a big up people. So that's 3. Dwan B, Sabby Sabs, Irony Olsen Friend Pump. Don't want nothing from them. Already got it. Already got it. So I'm watching the clip. I'm listening to Mark Lamont Hill, and I'm disappointed. And I say, why is he that way? Why he so nice about it? We dying. We at the bottom of the bottom, and you one of our foremost thinkers? People put you on everything. I saw him on the Budden Show, Joe Budden podcast. He was on this show, that show, Democracy Now! They put him on everything. Maybe that's why they put him on everything. Ain't radical. Pierce Morgan had him on, taking turns punching them in the liberal policies. So Black America right now, I feel like we run out of the gas. We lost, we don't know where we're going. We're running out of gas. The GPS don't work. We ain't got a signal. And we in a sundown area. We in a sundown town. And it's damn near dusk. They acting like we got all the time in the world. Oh yeah, look, I don't hold it against you. If you vote for Kamala or you don't vote for Kamala. You're not even standing on your genocide shit. I thought you said she's enabling genocide. Her and Joe. Thought you at least was standing on that shit. You like, well, if you want to do that or you don't, you ain't got to. Freaky deaky. Live and let live, I say. Where's the leadership? Where's the leadership? Where's the backbone? People be talking shit about MAGA. They do. I'm watching the whole board. I'm watching everything. I'm sitting back. I'm scoping it out. I said this last night. I'm going to double down on it. One of the main differences between MAGA and the progressives and the liberals, neoliberals, whatever you call them, is MAGA will go get J.D. Vance up out the paint, and J.D. portrays MAGA. Hell, MAGA go get Trump. He don't act right. Because it's bigger than him. That don't exist in progressive circles. That don't exist with the Democrats. You understand what I'm saying? They more concerned with the institution of the party. Progressives more concerned with being in the club and not being on the outside. Case in point, AOC. No more games. It's time to lead the Democratic Party. Not because you are a person that just loves risk and you walk around going, yeah, I can't wait to be risky. What I'm trying to tell you is we don't have a choice. What I'm telling you is I do hold it against you if you continue to do the same dumb shit over and over and over again. Somebody's got to say it. No one's going to say it. Mark Lamont Hill ain't going to say it. Eddie Glide ain't going to say it. The Three Stooges ain't going to say it. They go him and ha, be nicer, kinder, gentler, tell everybody, oh, we could all work together. There's no reason to ostracize each other. That ain't how the Democrats roll. If you say they've been still dragging Eddie Glide from 2016 when he didn't endorse Hillary. I saw some white lady dragging him last month, blaming him for Hillary losing to Trump the first time. Damn near 10 years later, Democrats don't play nice. But we do. Now we play soft. Hell, I go so far to say we ain't playing at all. We just here. Now it's time for us to man up and woman up. It's time for us to black up and stand up and back up off them Democrats. It may starts with individuals. Individuals of note, individuals with platforms, individuals who are thought leaders, authors, professors, well-respected. Oh, man. They have to get the ball rolling. The Paul Robesons, the James Baldwins, the Fannie Lou Hamers. Turning over in their graves. Look how good them black people got it. That maybe that's the problem. Maybe we got it too good. Maybe jail is too good. Maybe jail's too nice. Yeah, that's what it is. Right now, we living in jail. Black Americans living in jail. Like the brother of the clip I played.
Inside at the bottom.
Kev, that's you? Yeah. Yeah, we just built you up, bro. What's up?
Come on, man.
No, we just built you up.
But why? I ain't got nowhere to go. I'm homeless, man.
We just go around bailing people out.
But where am I going? Oh, man. Why you bailing me out, though?
I'm saying we do like goofy bails and stuff. Relax.
I ain't got nowhere to go. I got nowhere to sleep. It's cold out here.
We gonna get you something to eat.
Find a place how you can get me back in there.
We gonna get you some.
I want to go back in.
We gonna get you.
I want to go back in. I don't want to be in the streets. I want to go back in.
You wanna go back to jail?
Yes. I want to go back in. I don't know why you bailing me out. Where I'm going to go? Where am I going?
I
was comfortable where I was at. Warm. I ain't got to pay for no rent. I'm good. Get me back in.
We got to get out the burning building. If you can stay in the burning building, I don't know, you got fire retardant draws? I don't know. Does your family got fire retardant draws? Are you impermeable to heat? I'm just asking. Maybe you are Johnny Blaze. Maybe you are. I don't know. Maybe you're Iron Man. But for us regular, normal people, we need to get out the burning house. That'd be a good idea. That's all I'm saying. So that's why we got to leave. We got to lead the Democratic Party. We need to do it post-haste. There's no reason to hang around. Right now, they are vulnerable. The wildebeest is wounded. Let's go ahead and take her down while we can so we can go get dinner. That's how it works in the jungle. They're not going to give a shit. We got to take it. There's a movie, I remember this movie called Departed. Jack Nicholson, Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, and, all the Diddy stuff aside, just walk with me here on the story. I know some of you, oh my God, that's not why I'm bringing it up. I'm bringing it up because there's a scene in there where Jack Nicholson, he's very disagreeable, but he's what you call an honest bigot because he's very upfront about it. And it was this one scene, he was talking, it was like a voiceover, and it's scenes, you see stuff on the screen, and it's just like a voiceover overdub. And he says something and it stuck with me. Now, you know the dialogue is fierce when there ain't nothing memorable on the screen to recall that I recall, but I remember what he said. And Jack Nicholson said something like this. Yeah, I don't really have a problem with the chappies, the black chappies. It's only one thing, you know. If there's anything I hold against the chappies, no one gives it to you. They want someone to give it to you. No one gives it to you. You got to take it. Now, I don't mean by force. I don't advocate violence. Don't have me in jail. I got kids that love me. Me and Mrs. Black, we get along just fine. But we got to take it. How we take it is we leave them. We build something new. I didn't say it was going to be easy. I'm telling you it's necessary because what we have right now is an intolerable situation. Okay? We don't have a choice. They've left us no choice. They ain't going to give us no health care. They ain't going to change the laws. They going to get up here. Folks, I was sitting back talking Mrs. Black tonight. I don't know, we were talking. I say, you know, I'm prepping for the show. I said, well, I don't really have anything for the show yet, but I was thinking about how horrible the Democratic Party is. She's like, yeah, baby, you always say that. You're right, they are horrible. I said, but you know, man, it's another level. You know, they give us shit like George Floyd. They go at our vulnerable parts. They pick apart. They pick at our wounds. They never let them heal, and they pick at our wounds and say, another black man was killed by a cop. We all need to sing slow songs. Not a slow singing and fire bringing. And they did this big thing. All this stuff ushered up. DEI. We need to do something. Corporations running around. Walmart jumped out the raft, ran over to do some DEI. Oh no, all these corporations running around, scurrying around, jumping out of trees and off buildings and shit like Spider-Man. Trying to run and do some DEI shit. They're trying to make up for the pain the black peoples is suffering. And it was everywhere you look, it was George Floyd. George Floyd. Everywhere I looked, I saw Al Sharpton and Ben Crumps. Ambulance chasing asses. I said, you know, and when I said it was a good thing, a man lost his life, a man lost his life. I said, baby, that's a horrible thing, a man lost his life. But they took it and they used it and they rode off of it for years. And it kept a lot of black people at bay using that. It applied social pressure into the system for black people like myself to push back, and they face a bombardment and overload of people going, what, you think that you don't love black people? You a sellout, you a cool. They use all this shit. But you know what I think? I think what happened to Tyree Nichols was worse than what happened to George Floyd. 5 officers from the Sting operation, the Hornets or the something, forget the name of it. But it was a notorious branch of law enforcement whose job, since its inception, is to go out and operate above the law and operate outside the law, the Scorpion Unit. That's it. It was led by a black woman. Look a little bit like Shirley Ralph. And these are black men who beat the life out of this young man. And he didn't have a history of violence. He hadn't stolen a car, shot up a school, did something to a child, just did a hit and run and tried to escape, fall asleep at a drive-thru, wake up with a gun, steal a taser from a cop, shoot the cop with the taser, then run or nothing, pull a knife on a cop or bring a knife to a gunfight, nothing. 5 black officers beat this young man to death for what looked like an eternity. He died a block from his house on ring camera. It didn't get talked about much, though, did it? Tyree Nichols never regained consciousness. What was he, 26? My son's 26. Neither the left or the right talked that much about it. Because see, with the left, well, I could say the left, neither the liberals or the progressives or the conservatives talked much about Tyree Nichols. Why? Because it was black on black. And since the other side wasn't using it, wasn't nothing to fight against. Couldn't score a political point by talking about it. So the conservatives shut the hell up about it because there was nothing to gain, because they don't really care. They just want to counter the Democrats. They just want to punch at the Democrats. If the Democrats aren't using it, then there's nothing to punch at because they really don't give a shit. And then the Democrats, since they really don't give a shit, and hell, they already got George Floyd, and it's perfect. Derek Chauvin's white. He was a part of a special unit that shows the corruption of the system. Right? I still remember the face of that police chief who knew all too well about the Scorpion unit. They were notorious for what they did. That's how they do. They beat the shit out of people. Complaint after complaint after complaint. You should have saw her face when they was interviewing, they were talking about it. Look her up, you'll see her face. Looking all sad. When I saw that screen was disgusting. Now, what you saw on that screen is what you've allowed and approved silently, tacitly, behind closed doors for years. That unit was that way. You brought that unit to that police force. See, that's what the Democratic Party does. That's what they do. Right now, they're trying to decide, what is it, Rahm Emanuel, if they're going to do what with Rahm Emanuel? What they want to do with this guy who oversaw the killing of... What's the young man saying that they killed? I see him. What was he, 17? I see him. Mental health issues, pocket knife in his hand. Shot how many times? 17 times. 14 of those shots while he was on the ground. Is it Levon? Someone knows. Laquan McDonald. That one got out of the news quick too, because it happened under Rahm Emanuel, Obama's boy. See where I'm going with this? Thank you, Be Easy. Laquan. What I'm saying is we need to leave the Democratic Party where they are because they don't mean that's any good. They're not going to budge. They're not going to change. They don't want to. Staying the same is too lucrative. And why should they change? We haven't. Somebody will keep going upside your head as long as you let them go upside your head. Now, you can give them something to think about. You could also leave. Now you leave, they might say, hey, I've changed. I want to be a new person. You got to have the guts to leave first. And don't tell me it's going to be tough. It might be. You might end up with Trump. But you don't have a choice because they have left you between a rock and a hard place. Sometimes you don't have a choice. Sometimes you're left with a Trump. And some people think maybe that's good. I told you, I believe he's the lesser evil. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. I ain't backing away from that. If you think differently, you need to reconsider the way you're looking at this. They out of power now. It's a good time to take them down, ain't it? Best time to take down the Democratic Party is when they down, right? What's going to be the excuse, guys? What's the excuse we going to make? What's the excuse Al Sharpton going to come up with? That's why we got to stop listening to Roland Martin and Al Sharpton. And I know I'm preaching to the choir because if you here, you ain't there. You know what I'm saying? But it's time for everybody to get on the same page. Mark Lamar Hill. You ain't that nice. Yeah, you and Eddie Glide ain't that nice. You guys are not as nice as you project to be. You're really good at being passive aggressive, and I ain't good at that. Sometimes I forget things. Sometimes I say the wrong thing, but I ain't passive aggressive. I'm blunt to a fault. You're gonna need to be blunt to a fault. Stop pretending to be nice. You know how to ignore people. You know how to not give a shit. You know how to pretend other people don't exist because they're not worthy of you. Sort of like Dr. Jason Johnson. We got a whole group of you guys. Bakari Sellers is good at it too. Y'all good at that. Ignoring us. Loudmouths, revolutionaries, radicals. Just people that want different shit who are not comfortable with leaving this country, this shitty country, the way it is right now, to our kids this way. Use the same spirit, the same energy that you have when you ignoring us, when you're ignoring Black independent media, Black new media, the same way you ignore us. Ignore the people that would shun you from the Democratic Party if you were to ever speak out of line. Ignore them the same way you ignore us. Yeah, Roland, talk to the Democrats the way you talk to your staff. When you yell, "Get my iPad!" Yeah, yell that way to Biden. Yell that way to Biden and Harris, who are right now in power. Say that. Can't say that, can you? The Democratic Party will not be the vessel for change if you are afraid to live on the streets, then you're going to stay in jail.